9 of the vlog, so close to E3 now. So I know I've talked about the 3DS a lot during these vlogs, but that's mainly because a lot of the games for the 3DS that are coming out, we know are going to come up at E3. And being someone who follows Nintendo the most closely as a company, 3DS is the system that I basically know the most about, so it makes sense for me to talk about it a lot. So today's game that we're going to be talking about is one that I'm very excited for. It is the next installment in the Fire Emblem series, known as Fire Emblem Awakening. Now, my first experience with Fire Emblem was on the Game Boy Advance back in maybe 2002 or something, a long time ago. And first time I picked it up, I played it, I absolutely fell in love with this game. It's absolutely awesome. Just everything about it is so amazing. The RPG strategy thing and the story, and oh, I love it. It's great. Fire Emblem's so good. So I did play the GBA games, loved both of those, and I even went back and played the Japanese one. I did play on a ROM, yes, I'm sorry, but I played the English translation of the Japanese game of the first GBA Fire Emblem, yeah. Which, by the way, is fucking difficult as balls. It's one of the hardest Fire Emblem games out there. But when it came to the DS version, which was Shadow Dragon, I was not quite so enamored with that one. I think it was mainly because it was a port of the original Fire Emblem game for the NES, and therefore the game mechanics were very outdated. It seemed a lot more simplistic and a lot more bare bones than what the Fire Emblem series had been on the GBA. But I think mostly what I really didn't like about it was the art style. It was very sort of drab, the colors were very washed out, it was pretty dark in general. And the thing I loved about the GBA games was that they were so colorful. There was the sprites had so much character, and there were lots of color in the world, and it was very bright. I enjoyed that sort of look to the game. Unfortunately, Shadow Dragon just didn't really hit the spot with me, so I was kind of disappointed by it. However, with Fire Emblem Awakening, we're looking to see a much more sort of visually appealing game. We know that with the power of the 3DS, they can definitely do these awesome cutscenes and everything that are going to be very good. And the great thing about it is it's actually going to feature voice acting for like one of the first times in the series. I think maybe there was voice acting on the GameCube and Wii versions, but this should be proper sort of cutscene voice acting, which is very exciting. Now, the game has already been released in Japan and has sold gangbusters. I mean, it's done so well in Japan. Being on top of the charts as soon as it came out, and just generally being a very good success. So I am very excited to pick up this title. I'm not sure when it will be coming out in America, but there has been a European release confirmed. I don't think we have a European release date set just yet, but it will probably come out after E3 at some point before the end of the year. Just in that slot between E3 and the end of the year. There's a very big open wide area, but I'm sure it will be out by then. If Nintendo don't really mention it at E3, then maybe it would look a bit bad for the American version, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to release it. I mean, since the GBA games, every Fire Emblem, I think barring one DS game that came out after Shadow Dragon in Japan, has been released here. So it's a pretty safe bet to say that the game's going to come out here. They are still very popular in the West, and I'm sure that Nintendo would do well to bring it out in America as well. There have also been some really cool new features detailed for this game. For example, one of them is that you can have two characters side by side, and in the past what characters have been able to do is create these support conversations with each other, which basically increases the power of characters' moves or something when they're in battle, dependent on if they're standing next to another character in an adjacent space. You know, they can boost their power or boost their accuracy or something. I don't even really know how it works, to be perfectly honest, but support conversations make you better in battle. But in this game, they're actually going to be like double attacks. So if you get attacked and you're standing next to one of your allies, when the battle starts, you'll actually be able to do a sort of double team take. So the two of you can take on an enemy at once, making things easier and kind of changing the strategy up a bit, which is pretty damn cool. I haven't really been following the Japanese version, and I know lots of people have enjoyed it, but you know, I'm hoping that there's going to be lots of interesting features for this game. I know it's probably going to have an online mode. I think it does have an online mode, so that would be cool as well, even though I'd probably get my ass kicked because I don't really know the competitive ins and outs of Fire Emblem, but it's definitely going to be a lot of fun, so yeah, looking forward to it. But what is perhaps the most interesting thing about this game is that it will be the first Nintendo first-party title to have downloadable content. Now, this isn't just normal downloadable content. This is, for the first time, paid DLC. So Fire Emblem is supporting basically paid chapters in the game. You download them from the eShop, I'm guessing, and you get characters from previous Fire Emblem entries in the series. For example, I think the first DLC pack that was available was for free, and it was including Marth from the original Fire Emblem, and of course from Shadow Dragon, a very infamous Fire Emblem character. And I think that pack had like some story chapters along with having Marth join your party as a permanent character. So stuff like this is really awesome, definitely worth paying for, I would say. The only one thing that I'm kind of iffy about is the fact with Fire Emblem that you can lose your character forever. So if you downloaded the DLC with Marth and then Marth died, that wouldn't be great. But there is the mechanic in this game where you can choose whether you want to have permanent death on or off. So I assume if you're a smart person and you have the DLC characters, you wouldn't use them unless you had permanent death off. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are stupid like that and they want to sacrifice characters for no reason. But I'm very excited about this. I hope they keep releasing DLC because I for certain want to see lots of characters from the games that I've played. So I want to see Lyn, I want to see Hector, I want to see Joshua, all these characters from previous Fire Emblem games I really like and hopefully would be playable in the new one. This is definitely a great step forward for Nintendo in general, knowing that they're going towards paid DLC and they are, you know, doing it well, I feel, because they're actually adding something worthy of value to this package. Last but not least, I hope they bring out that special edition Fire Emblem 3DS here, because my god, that thing looks amazing. I'm probably not going to buy it, of course, because I already have a 3DS. I'm not going to spend all that money on another one, but it just looks fucking cool. I want it, so bring it over, Japan. Fuck you, Japan, we want it. But that's about it. It's going to close out the vlog for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to leave comments, responses, everything down below, that can be very much available for you to do so. What do you think of Fire Emblem? Are you as excited for this game as I am? Because I'll tell you what, it's probably one thing that I'm looking forward to the most on the 3DS at this point. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and until then, goodbye. 本体通りゃ